Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Coach Derrick Burroughs Show. My name is Cesar Quispe, alongside Lane College's head football coach, Mr. Derrick Burroughs. Coach, welcome to your show tonight.
Thank you.
How do you feel? How do you feel tonight, sir?
Well, it's always great after a win, so feel pretty good this evening.
Definitely. Well, let's jump straight into it. We're going to give just a little background information, and we'll get straight into the game. The Dragons of Lane College traveled to Frankfort, Kentucky this past weekend to face the 2016 SIAC Western Division champions. So, Coach, talk to us a little bit about that game, and then we'll get into some of the questions tonight.
Well, we felt that this was a winnable game for us. We knew defensively they played a lot of too high safeties, and when you play a lot of too high safeties, it's very acceptable for the run. And we also felt that we could establish a type of defense that will prevent them from running the ball on us so much and force them into throwing the ball more than they would like to. And luckily, we managed to do both, offensively and defense. We managed to run the ball like we wanted to run the ball, and we managed to have them play our game and throw the ball a little bit more than I think that they wanted to throw the football.
Definitely. I mean, a very exciting game. We took control of the game early on. And every time they try to fight back, we would continue to make really big plays on offense and defense and continue to score. Something exciting to share this week with the folks that are watching the show is that one of our players, our quarterback, Marcus Reynolds, was chosen by the SIAC and won the weekly offensive player, or the offensive player of the week. How important is that for the program?
Well, it's important for the program. It's important for our kids that our kids are being recognized now. Marcus had a great game. I think he rushed for over 100+ yards and threw the ball very well for us. And he had been struggling a little bit this season, and at the time, it couldn't happen to a better kid.
Definitely. Again, later on in our segment, we're going to have two defensive players that are going to be with us tonight. But again, the defense did a great job, Coach. Really big turnovers when we needed them, really big, important plays where we stopped them and stopped their momentum.
Well, actually, the defense have been playing, bend but don't break defense all year. They've been playing pretty steady all year. And last game was a tip of the ice of what they've been all season. So I was very proud of the way the defense played. I've been proud of them all week. And two big turnovers when we really needed it. They were in our red zone, getting ready to score, and we got an interception, and then we got a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Huge plays. What was the significance of this of the game that just concluded?
Well, I don't know if there's any special significance other than it was a conference game for us. By them being the Western Division champs this year, I don't think motivated us any more than we would have been motivated anyway. We've been preaching to our kids about finishing strong, and we want to finish 6-4. So I think we didn't need any more motivation than we already had.
Definitely. Again, a great game on offense and defense, and we have seen that the defense has really done some great things. So let's just switch gears for just a moment and talk about this next coming week. We're playing the final regular season game. It's senior night and fan appreciation night presented by our friends Potterosso, who are the official Indian restaurant of the Lane College Dragons. That game is scheduled to be played here in Jackson, Tennessee at 2 p.m. this coming Saturday. What are some of the things that we expect to see from that game, Coach?
Well, I hope you see another win so we can finish the season at 6-4. Morehouse is a good football team, and we've been breaking down film all week to try to figure out a little different things that we can attack them offensively and defensively. So we got our hands full like we've always had it, and I expect our kids to play hard like they've always played. So
definitely. So going back to this last weekend's game, was there anything in particular? And I know every week I ask you the same question, and I get the same answer, but I'm going to go ahead and, just for consistency's sake.
Okay.
What was the game plan going into Saturday's game?
Well, the offensive game plan was we were going to run the football because they played a lot of too high safeties. The defensive game plan was we wanted to stop the run. They ran the ball very well against Miles. They ran the ball very well against Tuskegee. And we wanted to stop the run and make them throw the ball because we felt that their strength was their running game. And we managed to kind of shut down the run and forced them to throw the ball a few more times than they actually wanted to. So, as I said, we implemented both game plans, and both game plans worked in our favor.
Definitely. Were there any interesting one-on-one player matchups or any specific sections of the team matchup that you thought would work well for you guys, or that did work well for you on Saturday?
Well, I don't know about a player-to-player matchup. We rarely do that. We just try to find the weakness in defenses and offenses to try to exploit. We saw offensively, we saw their cornerbacks playing deep, so we wanted to throw quick hitches a lot to bring those cornerbacks up to try to get behind them. But we rarely get into player-to-player matchups, and it's more of a team thing.
It's a team,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They had been on a hot streak coming into Saturday's game. Had just beat the number 5 team in the nation, Tuskegee. Had just beat the team that was predicted to finish number 1 in the season, which was Miles early on. So, I mean, coming with a momentum, I guess it was really big that our team was able to really come out with this win, this victory for us. How important is that? Well, breaking their streak, right? So, and us getting the momentum. How important is that going into the next game, Coach?
Well,
or just getting the momentum again, getting the momentum.
Well, for us, we were playing the guys on film. We really didn't get so much in the fact that they beat Miles or they beat Tuskegee. We just kind of concentrated on what we needed to do against Kentucky State. So I don't think that played a lot in our minds that they beat Miles or they beat Tuskegee, and we lost to both teams. So I just think we put forth that the game plan that we prepared for, and they did a good job in executing.
Yeah, they did. I mean, phenomenal. We had a great outcome of the game, Coach. And we were able to see a bit of that offense that we saw early on in the season.
Right. And if for a couple of games, we kind of lost our offense. For the last 6 games, we were struggling offensively. We couldn't score. And no one knows how you get in slumps, and no one knows how you get out of slumps. It just kind of happens. And we had been in an offensive slump for the last 6 games, but we kind of broke out of it.
Definitely. Well, we want to go ahead and thank you for joining us tonight here on the Coach Derrick Burroughs Show. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you in just a few moments. Welcome back to the show, here again with Coach Derrick Burroughs, and we've got a very special guest with us today, physical education major, junior, number 7, Anthony Blackman, who also plays safety for the Dragons. Anthony, welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you, man.
Coach, talk to us a little bit about Anthony Blackman and the significance that he's had on this team this year.
Well, Anthony it starts at free safety for us. Very smart, very intelligent kid, lines everybody up in the secondary. Has made a lot of good plays for us this year, and we really rely on him to direct traffic back there in our secondary for us.
Definitely. I mean, this last game, he had a humongous play where he picks up the fumble and returns it. So how big is that for you, Coach?
Particularly when they're on the 5-yard line and they're about to score, and we cause a fumble, and he how many yards was that?
Probably
80 and 90-something yards?
Yeah,
95 yards. And it was so huge because that could have put him within, if I'm not mistaken, one touchdown back into the game.
Yeah.
And then when he picks up the fumble and runs it in, I think it puts us up 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
So that was huge for us. And actually, it was kind of a backbreaker for them, too.
Anthony, talk to us a little bit about that play as you're setting up and as you're seeing them set up. You guys are, that close you guys are that close, or they're in the red zone. What's going through your mind, and talk us through that play?
Well, I just remember Coach Burroughs calling blitz that he loved to call cyclone. And I remember before when they hiked the ball, the DN was going in, and they was in the mesh, and I seen the ball start to move, and the DN tackled them in the mesh, and I seen the ball scoot out, so I ran in quick as I could to pick it up and go.
When you pick up the ball and you're running, and this is the question I've always had, do you look back or do you just keep on running?
I wanted to look back to see if anybody was chasing me, but then I ain't want to fall, you know.
like somebody else.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's exciting. I mean, a huge play. You know, and coach, the defensive team has been very consistent this year, making some really big stops.
Right.
And that one was one of those really big stops. I mean, when they're that close to scoring, and that could be the difference of shifting of momentum.
Absolutely.
And you know, how big is that play for us?
Well, it's huge because you know they're 5 yards from scoring, and which gives us momentum and kind of gives them that's a backbreaker for their offense or for their team. So that was huge for us to go up 14, if I'm not mistaken, on that one particular play. So that was huge.
And it's not the only time that it happened this past weekend. You know, later on in our show, we've got another young man who also had a big play on defense.
Right.
But again, that's exciting. That's exciting. So we want to go ahead and just take this time, and we're going to shift over back to offense and just share some really exciting news. We've got a player by the name of Marcus Holiday who wears number 25 on our team, and he is he's only within about, I think, under 50 yards for reaching 1,000 rushing yards this year. According to our information, the last time we've had a 1,000-yard rusher was former professional player Fred Lane, who came to school here at Lane College.
Right.
And so, you know, we want to go ahead and take this time to invite all those that are watching the show tonight to be able to come out this Saturday when the Dragons of Lane College face Morehouse College. And not only to see the Dragons win, but also to be able to see this young man reach that 1,000 yards, which is really big for a program.
And that's special for our program, and I'm quite sure that's special to him and his parents. And so we want to invite all the Dragons out to you know, push this guy on and support him. And I know he's a team player. He's not an individual player. He's a team player. But we would like for him to have that individual honor this week, and he's one of the good ones, so he deserves it. So
definitely. So just one more time, we want to invite folks this Saturday at 2 p.m. here at Lane Field in Jackson, Tennessee, to be able to watch Coach Burroughs, right? And then 3 other former NFL players on the field. Plus, we get to watch Marcus Holiday and the rest of the offensive team also this Saturday. So if you've got an opportunity this Saturday, come out at 2 p.m. and join us to watch the Dragons have their last final season game here at home. Coach, so let's talk back about the game. You know, you guys are warming up. You guys go through the game. You get that early lead going into the half. And, you know, I think with a few minutes left in the first half, you know, they had scored, but we already had a little bit of a momentum.
Right.
What do you tell the team as they're going into the locker room, as you guys are?
What did I tell them when I was in the locker room?
When you were in the locker room, when you're in the locker room, what do you tell them to keep? What do you tell them to keep the momentum going?
Well, I just kind of encourage them to, you know, keep fighting and keep playing hard, like I always do. But again, I want to say that, you know, our defense have been our anchor and our backbone, and guys like Blackman, Anthony Blackman, and you'll meet Will Lacey, who's coming on later, and Justin Hill and Javante Kelly, all those guys, man, they have really been the rock for this team. And I'm so proud of, I'm proud of all our guys, first of all, let me say that. But I'm so proud of the way our defense sticks together. Now, we hadn't always done everything right, but I'm proud of the fact that they played hard.
That's exciting. And some of those names, Coach, that you mentioned are also on the list of seniors who will be playing their last regular season game this coming Saturday.
Right.
Some of them have played for you for 2 years. Some of them have played for 4 years with you. What do we look for next? Who are some of the guys that we watch for?
Well, next? I mean, you know, we want to take these seniors out with a bang. I can't say enough how much Justin Hill has given us Brian Thames, Will Lacey, Javante Kelly, who's been a 4-year starter for us. I'm excited about their future.
Yeah.
I'm even more excited about having Anthony Blackman back for his senior year and watching his maturation and leadership with our defense on next year. So it's bittersweet for me because I'm losing some great guys.
Yeah.
But I still got a couple of great guys still left. So,
definitely. But we're going to go ahead and just take this final moment and talk to Anthony a little bit about this past game. How big it was for you as a player to be able to do something like what you did to the 2016 Western Division champs, which was Kentucky State.
It was a great experience. You just got to thank God for being with us out there throughout the game, keeping our heads in there.
That's exciting. I mean, this season we've had a little bit of a roller coaster. Definitely started with great momentum, and then we kind of lost the momentum a little bit. But watching the game this Saturday, we were really firing on all cylinders. How important is that for you, Anthony, to see the team in the direction that you guys are headed?
It was good. I wish we would kept it like it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just like we lost our way at one point in time in the season. But I feel like the best is yet to come.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. An exciting finish to the game. Overall, the game was just really nice. And so we're going to go ahead and just take one more commercial break here in just a few moments. Again, we just want to take this time to invite everyone out this Saturday, 2 p.m. at JF Lane Gym at Lane Field for the Dragons' final home game against Morehouse College. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in just a few moments. Thank you. Welcome back to the Coach Derrick Burroughs Show. Cesar Quispe along with head coach Derrick Burroughs, and we also have a safety, Will Lacey, who's a senior business management major here at Lane College. Will, welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you.
Coach, this young man that's here with us today had another one of those huge plays that we were talking about earlier, where Kentucky State University is inside of the red zone. And he intercepts the ball and returns it for almost a touchdown. Goes quite a way out and then kind of gets hit on the way to return it back. How big was that play that he was a part of? We talked with Anthony Blackman and now we're talking with Will Lacey about that last game.
Well, as I said earlier, it was huge because they're on the brink of scoring another touchdown. And when we get an interception on the brink of them scoring in the red zone, that's kind of a backbreaker for their offense and their team, and that was huge. Again, that was huge for us, and then he returned it another 40 or 50 yards. We put our offense in great field position. Yeah.
I remember talking to our sports information director, Mr. Roger Ogden, moments right after the play happened, and our team ended up scoring off of that play.
Right.
So I think it does a lot for the team, team morale, just the momentum when you've got a huge return, and then right after the team is able to come back in and score and capitalize on their error and on a great job from Will. So, so Will, talk to us a little bit about that play, how you were set up and what was going through your mind and kind of what transpired.
I just remember that we were in, Coach Burroughs called a play called numbers when it was a double on the number 2 receiver. And I just remember that he came up and was about to run a slant. The quarterback threw the ball, and he tipped it. And I just remember the ball falling in my hands, and I took off running. And I had to run out of bounds because I was about to pull my hamstring. And I knew if I would have pulled my hamstring, I wouldn't have been able to play for the rest of the game. And I would have possibly been out for next week, last home game of the season. So I had to make a sacrifice.
He sacrificed the touchdown for the hamstring.
Most definitely.
But we're going to turn this into a positive thing here, and we will get to see Will Lacey because he didn't pull a hamstring this last weekend. We will see him.
He didn't pull a hamstring.
At Senior Day and Fan Appreciation Day next week against Morehouse.
Right.
Will, we talked a little bit off camera about some of the stuff that you guys have done. You scored a touchdown last week's game. Talk to us a little bit about that.
That play was called Cyclone, so it was a safety blitz. I ended up just shooting the outside C gap, getting in there. I remember Whitney coming to hit the quarterback as he was throwing. The quarterback dropped the ball and it had a good bounce, and I just ran under it and ran in the end zone.
That's right. Exciting things, Coach. We also talked a little bit about the Dragons having 6 picks this season.
Right.
Plus, a number of different big plays, like fumbles, that we've been able to turn those into touchdowns.
Right.
Talk to us about some of that.
Yeah. Well, we play a pressure type defense, and to be honest, 6 interceptions is really a lot for a man-to-man team. Mostly, you get most of your interceptions when you are a zone team because you're looking at the ball and you're facing the ball a lot. But we've made a lot of big plays this year. We made a lot of plays that put us in great positions for the offense. So I'm proud of our guys, and I'm excited. Again, I said it's kind of bittersweet because I'm excited about these guys having an opportunity to go further with their lives or their careers in football or whatever the case may be, and excited about the new kids coming in and teaching them also.
Definitely. This is the final home game of the season. What are some of the things we're looking forward to in this game, Coach, against Morehouse?
Well, we're looking forward to playing good defense and good offense, and guys like Will Lacey and Justin Hill. This might be the last time they put on a helmet. And I just wanted to be very memorable if it is. If it's not great, but I want it to be very memorable for them. I want them to go out knowing that they went out on top. So I want it to be special for all our seniors.
Will, is there any specific significance of this game coming up for you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I just know I would really like to get the W this weekend. Hopefully, God blesses us with a W. I really want to just go out with a bang, just put a big imprint on the season, and let everybody know in the conference Lane gonna be back next year, hopefully for the championship.
Definitely, Coach. Right now we stand at 5-4, and have had a roller coaster of a season, but some really great stuff happening.
Yeah.
How that's 2 games better than how we were last year.
Yeah.
Where do you see our program as we finish? We're 1 game away from finishing the season.
It's funny. A couple of years ago, we really didn't have expectations. You know what I mean? Now we went into this season, feeling like we could win a lot more games. We could finish 8-2, 9-1, or 10-0. So I think the expectations of Lane College is growing, and that's a good thing. Because we don't want to go into the season feeling like we don't have a chance, and our players don't feel like we ever have a chance to win. So the expectation is growing because of our administration allowing us to have more scholarships, being able to go out and find better athletes, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. We shouldn't just settle for wanting to be 1-8, 1-9, 2-8 every year. You know what I mean? We have to build the expectations up for our athletic program.
And you're right. And this year, one of the biggest lines that I've caught on here in Jackson is that we are Jackson's only college football team. And we've seen a great turnout from folks this season also at all of our home football games, which is exciting. You've got hundreds of people out there cheering for the team. So some really exciting things, definitely some exciting things. So without giving us your game plan, what are we looking forward to this weekend? Without revealing it all to us.
Like Will said, we're looking to go out with a bang. I want so much for our seniors to go out with a win, and if it's God's will that they continue to play, then that's wonderful. But if not, then they can always remember that they graduated from Lane College, they left their last game with a W, and then they come back to watch these guys next year.
Definitely. Will, any final thoughts before we close the show tonight?
I just want to prepare for this game as much as possible, mental reps, watch film, and just make sure we get the W, make sure the defense is on their A1 game.
That's right. Folks at home, we wanted to go ahead and thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. we want to invite you one more time this Saturday at 2 p.m. when the Dragons of Lane College face Morehouse College here at Lane Field in Jackson, Tennessee. Remember, this is Jackson's only college football team. And so on behalf of myself, Coach Burroughs, the rest of our production team, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week here on the Derrick Burroughs Show. Thank you, and have a good night.